Hello everyone. In the last video, we have discussed about why DC series motor is used for the traction purpose. Why not DC shunt motor? And again, to some extent, we can use like with some modifications and all, we can use the cumulative compound motor also. But the best motor which is suitable for the traction work is DC series motor because the main thing is that it is having high starting torque. Okay, so that was the main advantage with respect to the series motor. And again, we got to know that there is a no undue of current. There is no due of the current in the windings of the motor and all. And we also know that it is a self-relieving one, and it is simple and robust in construction, and the speed control methods also very simple with respect to the DC series motor. So with respect to those advantages, we got to know that DC series motor is well suitable for the traction service, but as the DC shunt motor will not be suitable for the traction service because it is a the name itself, it is a constant speed motor, hence it can't be used. And again it is not a self-relieving one, and it does not develop a high starting torque. So these are the some of the disadvantages with respect to the DC shunt motor, and hence it is can't be used for the traction service. So now we'll see is AC series motor is used for the traction service, and what is an AC series motor. Okay, so before going to the AC series motor, that is AC series motor construction is almost similar to the DC series motor, but the supply here will be AC supply. Okay, and the AC series motor what we are having here, it is used for the traction work up to the sizes of 100 HP. Hence, it will be used in the hair dryers and in the some of the applications. It will be used. Next, it produces a low power factor at the start, and the starting torque is also lower. So these are some of the disadvantages with respect to the AC series motor. So before going to the AC series motor, again we will discuss the DC series motor. So what is a DC series motor? The supply here will be DC supply, and we got to know that the field winding is connected in series with the armature winding. Hence, it is called as an series motor. Why it is called series motor? Because the series winding what we are having, that is the field winding what we are having, it is in series with the armature winding. So this we got to know in the in the DC series motor. So now let us write an phasor diagram for the DC series motor. With what if DC series motor is worked on AC supply, so that we will see later. So here to draw this, let us take the current as reference. So let me take the supply, let me take the current which is flowing from the supply, so as a constant, or the as a not constant, as a reference I am going to take. So here the current is taken as reference. With respect to current, I am going to draw a voltage over here. So if I trace the circuit, first I'll be getting the series field. So here the resistance will be RSC, and the current flowing through is I, because it is in a series manner. The current drop across the series field winding is I into RC. So this is the drop across the series field winding. So as it is a resistance, you could see here, as it is the resistance thing. We can write in the same phase, because in the resistor we know that voltage and current are in the same phase. Hence I'll be writing IR, that is the voltage drop across the series field winding in the same line, because current and voltage are in phase with respect to the resistor. Hence we have written in the same phase or in the same line. Hence it is called as IRSC, and this is the IRSC I am having. And now again we'll be having armature winding. So voltage drop across the armature winding is nothing but I into RA, and again it is a resistance drop. Hence we could write on the same line, because current and voltage are in same phase with respect to the resistor. Hence we'll be writing on the same line. So next we have written now we have written the two voltage drops And we also know that the back EMF is also generated in the armature. Hence, the back EMF will be represented over here, and hence we can say the total voltage. Okay, and hence we can say the total voltage V is nothing but this thing. That is, the total voltage V is the whole length. We can say that is total supply voltage what we are feeding. So that will supply the drop across series winding and drop across armature winding, and that will be utilized for the generation of the back EMF. Hence, we could say that supply voltage V is nothing but EB plus IRSE plus IRA. So these two voltage drop plus back EMF will be equals to the supply voltage. And we also know that back EMF can also be written as K into phi into N, because back EMF is proportional to phi into N, and I can write it as K into phi into N. So this is the voltage across the series motor. And you can see here the back EMF generated will also be more over here. Okay, so this is with respect to the DC series motor phasor diagram as well as its voltage equation. Okay, so this is the DC series motor we have written. So next let us see what happens if DC series motor is worked on AC supply. Why this thing will come? Because in the AC series motor there will be a not much difference. There will be a not much difference with respect to the construction. The whatever the construction in the DC series motor is there, so the same will be used for the AC series motor with some modifications, as I told you. So first let us see what happens if the same DC series motor is connected to a AC supply instead of DC supply. What happens? So what happens if we connect DC series motor across the AC supply? So if we connect So if we connect a motor across an AC supply, what happens? First thing, AC supply will also produce the unidirectional torque. Why? Because the armature and field current will reverses at the same time. Hence, the two currents will reverses at the same time. That is, both currents are reverses at the same time. Here, they'll produce the unidirectional torque. So in the case of DC series motor also, there was a production of unidirectional torque. But if we connect a motor across the AC supply also, it also produces the unidirectional torque. Okay, so that is the one thing which is happening when we connect across the AC supply. So second one, what happens due to the presence of alternating current, eddy current will also induced in the yoke and the field cores, because we are supplying AC here. That is, the system is connected across the AC supply. So due to this AC supply, what happened? There is a production of eddy currents in the parts of the yoke and the field cores. Okay, so due to the flow of this eddy current, what happened? They'll heat up the yoke and the field cores. That means excessive heating will be produced in the yoke and the core. So this is one of the observation will happen when we connect across the AC supply. Next, due to the high inductance of the field and the armature current in the armature circuit, the power factor will also be low here. So that means what? Due to the high inductance value of the field and the series winding, the power factor will also reduced over here. And there may be a possibility of sparking at the brushes. Okay, because the commutation is not required over here. Hence there may be a production of the spark at the brushes. So these are the some of the observation, or the some of the things will happen when we connect DC series motor across AC supply. So what are the observation we have made? One thing, what happened, it produces a unidirectional torque, because the armature current and the field current will reverses at the same time. So this is one thing. the first observation. And due to the presence of alternating current, what happened? Eddy current will be induced in the yolk and the core of the yolk and the core. Hence, it produces excessive heating of core and yolk. And the third observation we have made that due to the high inductance value of series and armature winding, the power factor will reduces here, and there may be a possibility of sparking which may produce at the brushes. So these are the effects which will happen when we connect DC series motor across the AC supply. But if I want AC series motor, I have to do some modifications to overcome these disadvantages. So how I can overcome by these disadvantages means first one, as I told you, there is a production of eddy current. So how can I reduce the eddy current? By proper laminating of the core and yolk part. If I laminate the core and the yolk, then the eddy currents will be reduces. Hence, it will not produce the excessive heating at the yolk and the core. So what I'm telling here, so we are doing some of the modification so that AC series motor will be very good enough for the application purpose. So what I'm doing, the problem was that it produces the eddy current which was doing excessive heating, and that can be reduced by properly laminating the core and the yolk. So that will avoid the excessive heating, first one. So next, as I told you here, the power factor is reduced. Why the power factor is reduced here? Because of high inductance value of the field winding and the series winding. So to reduce the series winding, that is to reduce the inductance of the series winding and the field winding and the armature winding, we can actually reduce the number of tons. So if I reduce the number of tons, what happen? The reactance as well as the inductance of the windings will be reduces. So what I'm talking here, I have to improve the power factor. The power factor was low due to the high inductance of the series and the armature winding. How do I overcome by this? By reducing the number of turn. By reducing the number of turn, I can reduce the inductance of the coil, and I can also reduce the reactance, and hence the power factor will improve. But the problem is that if I reduce the number of tons, what happens? The field MMF will reduces. In turn, the field flux will also reduces here. So this should not be happen, because if the field flux reduces, then the armature reaction will be more, and hence the good performance of the motor will not be happening. So therefore, so by reducing the number of ton, the problem is that it reduces the field MMF, and and the air gap flux will also reduces. So overall result is that the speed of the motor will increases, but the motor torque will reduce, and whatever the torque we expected, so that will not be met if I reduce the number of tons. So what I am talking, if the power factor was low in the AC series motor, how do I increase the power factor? By reducing the number of ton. If I reduce the number of ton, the reactance and as well as the inductance of the coil will reduces. Hence, the power factor will improve. Power factor, of course, will improve, but due to this, what happen? If I reduce the number of ton, the field flux will reduces, and as well as the field MMF will also reduces. So due to this, what happened? The speed will be more here, and the torque will not be expected. The torque will not be more. That is, the expected torque will not be met here. Hence, to improve this, we will be going for the compensating winding. So what is that compensating winding? I'll be telling you later. Okay, so remember that if I connect the DC series motor across an AC supply, the problem arrived was one thing, it produces unidirectional torque. Okay, so that was not the problem. Then next, what happened? In the next case, what happened? The power factor was reduced. Okay, and the sparking may occur, so that we have observed. And we also got to know that got to know that eddy currents will be produced. So we have to overcome this disadvantages or this effect. So how do I overcome? To reduce eddy current, the yoke and core will be properly laminated so that excessive heating and the eddy current will be reduced. And to improve the power factor, we have to reduce the number of tons so that reactance inductance will reduce, power factor will improve. But with respect to this, what happened? With respect to this, the MMF and the flux production will be reduced, and hence the speed will increases, and hence the torque will not be to the expected mark. So this was the problem, hence we will be using the compensating winding. So what is that compensating winding? So that we will be seeing later. So this was the effects when we connect DC series motor across AC supply. So next, for an AC series motor, you can see here the supply voltage will be AC, and again the same thing in case of AC series motor also, the field winding will be in series with the armature winding. And let us write the phasor diagram over here. Okay, so let us write the phasor diagram. Again, the flux and the current is taken as reference. Okay, the current is taken as reference over here. And if I trace the circuit, then I'll be going to the series winding, and the drop across here will be IRSC. Okay, as well as AC supply is used. Again, there will be a reactance drop and there will be a resistance drop. And hence this is IRSC, this is the voltage drop across the series field resistance. And again we will be having the reactance drop. Again we know that the reactance drop or the magnetic component will be 90° with respect to the current. That is, in the inductor what happen, voltage will be leading and the current will be lagging, or we can say the current is lagging the voltage drop by 90°. Hence we have to write here, this is IXSC we have written. And we also know that after that we will be having the armature winding. Again the drop across the armature winding is written as IRA, and this resistance drop is in phase with the current, and hence we'll be writing in a parallel line. And after that again we'll be having the magnetic component or the inductive component, or the reactive component we can say. Again it is 90° with respect to this drop. Next, again, we have to, this is the total drop across the series field winding and the armature winding. You can see here, so this is the total voltage drop across the series field winding and the armature winding due to the resistance and reactance. And next, we'll be having the back EMF, and we can write the back EMF here. Again, the back EMF is in phase with the current. Okay, so we have written in a parallel line. Next, this diagonal will gives us the voltage, that is the supply voltage. So this is the supply voltage. And next we have the power factor. So this is the cosine of angle between the voltage and current. So this is the supply voltage and this is the current we are having. So this is the power factor, and phi is nothing but the phase angle between the voltage and current. So this is the phasor diagram with respect to the AC series motor. And you can observe here the back EMF is less with respect is less as compared to the DC series motor. And there is a power factor term will also come over here, and hence the power factor is not good in case of AC series motor. Hence we have to do some of the modification. And you can see here the speed torque characteristics is something like drooping, and the speed here will also be less compared to the DC series motor. Okay, so the main observation we have made here is back EMF production is less as compared to the DC series motor, and the speed is also less with respect to the DC series motor. And it is not suitable for suburban service, and it is only suitable for the mainline service. Okay, next, compared to the DC series motor, back EMF is less in AC series motor. And we know that speed is proportional to the back EMF, and torque is again dependent, and torque depends on the product of back EMF and the current. So torque produced is also less, hence we have to improve the performance by doing some of the modification. So due to this case, what happened? The back EMF produced is less and the speed is also speed is also less, hence the torque production is also less in case of AC series motor. If I want to use this for traction purpose, then I have to do some of the modification. So as I told you, we have to do the lamination, and we'll be reducing the number of ton. With respect to that, we also do some of the modifications. We'll be doing that modification. So we'll be using the compensating winding. So that means what? We'll be using an extra winding so that the compensation will happen. That means what? The torque will improve and also the power factor should improve. So how do we do it? To improve the performance, we'll be using the compensating winding. That is the extra winding we'll be using. We'll be using extra winding. So if I use the compensating winding, what happens? It reduces the armature resistance, and hence it improves the back EMF, and hence also it provides the good speed regulation, and also it improves the power factor. So the main purpose of using the compensating winding is that to reduce the armature reactance. So if I use the compensating winding, hence the back EMF also increases. Again, in turn, the speed will also increases. In turn, the torque will also increases. So we will be having two types of compensating winding. So in one type, we will be using the compensating winding in series with the armature winding, and in the other case, compensating winding will nowhere in connection with the motor, but will be having the short circuited compensating winding, and due to some transformer action, the action will happen. So that we'll see in the coming slides. So first we have a AC series motor with the compensating winding in series with the armature. Okay, and you can see the diagram over here. As I told you, the compensating winding is in series with the armature. Okay, so this is the AC series motor we had. In addition to that, we'll be using an extra winding, that is a compensating winding. Again, this compensating winding is in series with the armature winding. Okay. And you can see here, as we have used the compensating winding, it produces the MMF, or it produces the flux in the opposite direction. You can see here, this is the armature flux we are having, and again the main flux will also be there. Due to this armature flux is flowing in this direction, but the compensating winding what we have used, so that will be producing the flux in the opposite direction with respect to the armature flux. So when we produce the flux in opposite direction with respect to the armature flux, hence the armature reaction will be reduced. When the armature reaction reduces, the flux will also, the main flux will improve, so that the speed will improve, so that back EMF will also improve, so that torque will also improve. So now let us write the phasor diagram for this. Again, the current hour flux is taken as a reference. Again, first we will be having the series field winding. Let us first write the drop across the series field winding, that is IRSC component, or the reactive component, which is in 90 degree with respect to this, which is the IXSE. And next we have the armature drop. Again, it is represented by I, RA plus RC, because here these two are in series. So when they are in series, let us add them. The drop across these two will be written as IRA plus IRC, or we can write as I into RA plus RC. So this is the drop across. This is the drop across the motor and the compensating winding. And again, the magnetic component or the reactive component, again it is I into XA plus XC. Let us write the line. Okay, so this is the total drop across the motor, that is drop across series and series winding, and drop across the armature winding, and the drop across the compensating winding. So this is the total drop. And the back EMF, again it is in phase with the current, so hence we have written in this way. So the diagonal joining them will be voltage, and again the angle between the voltage and current is nothing but the phase angle, which is used for the power factor. So so you can observe here, when we use this, the power factor is going to improve over here. Okay, so the power factor will improve, and hence and hence the armature reaction reduces, and hence the speed and torque will also improve over here. So the compensating winding provides an MMF opposite to the armature MMF, hence it reduces the armature reactance drop, hence the speed as well as torque as well as back EMF will also increases. Whereas RA plus RC is nothing but resistance of armature and compensating winding, whereas XA plus XC is nothing but reactances of armature and compensating winding. So this completes one type of the compensating winding. As I told you, we have the other type of compensating winding also. So here AC series motor with compensating winding which short circuited on itself. So here the compensating winding is a short circuited itself, and that will be used in the series motor. You can see here this compensating winding is nowhere in connection with the DC series motor, but the effect will be there due to a transformer action. Okay, so this is the short circuited compensating winding, and it is placed next to these two windings. Again, let us write the phasor diagram. Before writing the phasor diagram, coming to the working, what happened? Coming to the working, you can observe over here. So this is the thing we are having, right? So here the armature winding, what we are having, it is acting as something like a primary of the transformer. And this compensating winding is something acts like a secondary of the transformer. Okay. So here the effect will be produced due to the transformer action. Here the armature winding is acting as a primary winding, and the compensating winding is acting as secondary winding. So when we supply the current, or when the power is on, or when the supply is on, what happened? The current will be flowing. So due to that, what happened? The flux will be produced in the armature, and this armature flux will be in this armature flux will reach the compensating winding, and hence the current will be produced in the compensating winding, and again the secondary current will produces the flux in the opposite direction with respect to the armature flux. Hence we can say that armature flux and the flux which is produced due to the compensating winding is in opposite direction, and hence it reduces the armature flux, it increases the main flux, so that the speed as well as EMF as well as the torque will improve over here. Okay, hence it also improves the power factor. So let us take the current and the or the flux as reference. Okay, and again the drop across the series winding is IRSC, and again the reactance is IXC, and we have a IRA dash. So this is the drop across, or we can say RA dash is nothing but equivalent resistance with respect to this. Okay, and we can write the inductive component, and this is the total drop across overall windings, and we have a back EMF which is in phase with the current, and the diagonal will give the supply voltage, and this is the supply and this is the phase angle between the voltage and the current. And here the transformer action will take place, as armature winding will act as primary winding of transformer, and the compensating winding acts as a secondary winding, and the current in the compensating winding will be in phase opposition to the current in the armature winding. So that means what? The flux produced, or the current which are flowing in the armature as well as in the compensating winding will be in opposite direction, in the phase opposite direction. Hence, it reduces the armature reactance, whereas RA dash and XA dash are the equivalent resistance and reactance of the armature and the compensating winding referred to the armature circuit. So this is the equivalent resistance value we are taking. Due to this compensating winding, it also improves the power factor of the motor. Okay, hence the power factor of the motor will also increases. So this is about the AC series motor. So coming to the series motor characteristics, first one we have the power output characteristic. So power output characteristics, you can see here the mechanical power is nothing but mechanical power in terms of electrical power can be written as back EMF into current. And here though the back EMF decreases slightly with the increase in current, but next neglected in comparison with the magnitude. Hence, we can write the power input is almost the mechanical output, power output is almost proportional to the armature current. That is, if the armature current increases, the power output increases. If the armature decreases, armature current decreases, the power output will also decrease. So this is about the power output characteristics. So the power output characteristics, we could say that the power output is proportional to the armature current or the current. Next, we have the power factor characteristic. Power factor is nothing but what? It is the cosine of the phase angle, or it is the angle, cosine of angle between the voltage and the current. So, which is nothing but the power factor of the motor. And we have this phasor diagram. You can see here. So, this is the phasor diagram we have. And for higher power factor, we got to know that reactance drops must be low, so that counter EMF will be high. So we know that, right? To improve the power factor, we have told that we have to reduce the number of turns. If I reduce the number of turns, then the reactance drops will be reduced. So this will increase the power factor. And for the power factor is highest or nearly unity at the light loads. And if the load increases, then the power factor will decreases. Okay. So, and in the overload and the starting condition, power factor will be less. During the light load condition, the power factor will be almost good. Next, coming to the third characteristics, that is speed current characteristic. So here also it is almost the same. That is, we know that back EMF is proportional to the product of flux and the speed. And we also know that back EMF is nothing but V minus voltage drops. But the current causes in comparison with the resistance drop. So therefore, how do we improve the back EMF? Because the drop is more here, then the back EMF will be less here. So how do I improve the, improvements? So EB developed is much less than with respect to the DC operation. So this we got to know, the back EMF is, value is, or the magnitude is less with respect to the DC series motor. It means speed current characteristics for AC series motor are more drooping as compared to the DC series motor. Okay, you can see here. So this is the speed current characteristics with respect to the AC series motor. So this is the this is for DC operation. Okay, you can see here. So this is for DC operation. But for AC operation, again the speed is less because the back EMF is less as compared to the DC operation. Hence, it is more drooping with respect to the DC operation. Next, we have torque current characteristics. So the torque current characteristics, again, we know the torque is proportional to phi into I. If phase angle phi is angle between flux and the current I is neglected, we can write actually T is proportional to I square, neglecting the saturation condition. Under saturation condition, flux will only proportional to I, but under non-saturation condition, torque will be almost proportional to I square. So you can see here. So this is how we can write. So this is the torque current characteristic. Again, it is almost linear. Okay, so this is almost linear characteristic. Next, coming to the torque speed characteristics. For given value of P and V, armature current is same, but voltage drop and hence the speed of an AC series motor for a given developed torque is less than that of the DC series motor. Okay, so as I told you, the speed is less in case in case of AC series motor because back EMF generated is less, hence the torque also less. Okay, so hence you can write. So this is the characteristics of AC series motor. So this is the torque speed characteristics of again it is also parabolic in sorry, it is not parabolic, it is something like hyperbolic, or it is a drooping in nature. So this is what overall characteristics of AC series motor. Okay, we have taken current in the x-axis and the remaining all the parameters in the x-axis. And you can see here, with the increase in the current, torque will also increases. Okay, with the increase in the current, torque will also increases. So this is that is, it is almost directly proportional, or we can say square root. Okay, so this is how we can write, or it is something like parabolic in nature. So this is with respect to the torque. Then coming to the power factor, you can see here, so this is almost in this way. Okay, so with increase in the current, power factor will reduce. With the decrease in current, power factor will be improved. That is, at high loads, or at the short circuiting condition, or at the high load, the power factor will be less, and at light load condition, the power factor is almost unity. Next, coming to the power output, you can see this is the almost like linear relationship. With the increase in the current, the power output will also increases. Next, coming to the speed, with increase in the current, speed will reduces. With decrease in the current, speed will be more. Next, coming to the efficiency, efficiency is also almost good over here. That is, with the less current, the efficiency will be more. That is, under light load condition, efficiency will be more. With increase in the current, efficiency is going to reduce. So this is what the characteristics with respect to the AC series motor. So now let us summarize the AC series motor. The power factor is very low at the starting and on overload, and efficiency is not good as DC machine because of eddy current losses and the effects of the power factor. And the starting torque is also low due to a poor power factor at the starting. For a given kilowatt rating, AC series motor is 5 to 2 times what we can say, the compensating and on a transformer. Okay, so with in the things we can actually control the speed. And the torque speed are only used for mainline service, and it can't be used for the suburban or the urban service, because the stops between them is very low, and the speed cannot be easily controlled as in case of DC series motor. And they have better performance on reduced supplying frequency. So we have to use again the frequency converter to reduce the frequency, so that we can actually improve the performance. And the operating voltage is kept low, that is usually in the range of 300 to 400 volt, due to reduce the inductance. So these are the some of the characteristics, or some of the points with respect to the AC series motor. Okay, in the next video, we will be studying three-phase induction motor and the linear induction motor, which will be used for the traction purpose. And hence, we can say that AC series motor can also be used for the traction purpose, but with the modifications in the construction. Thanks for watching the video.